The drone is not bad. It's bad compared to the Blade. Now that it's been pushed aside and forgotten about, it's time to reflect and see what really caused the drone to become one of the most hated vehicles in the game. We're going to be going over the period of its addition, its time in the game, and finally its removal to figure out why it's gained this negative reputation. To start, let's take it back 5 years. After the Blade was added in August 2020, pretty much everyone deemed it as a worthy S-tier vehicle. It was extremely overpowered, to the point where people were making essays as to why it is the best vehicle in the game. The height limit was still annoying, obviously, but stats-wise it destroyed the Black Hawk, and its ability to hover meant that it could outclass the Vault Bike in some situations too. I mean, not to mention the design. It was unlike anything we'd ever seen before in Jailbreak. Futuristic, very modern, and quite detailed for the time. But it was heavily inspired by the spinner from Blade Runner, which was what eventually led to the Blade's downfall. On October 8th, the Blade was removed. People were kind of confused at first, because there was, and still is to this day, been no official statement on the Blade's removal. But it doesn't take a genius to infer that it's obviously because of copyright. Soon after the removal of the Blade came a slew of 8-minute and 1-second mid-roll spamming videos talking about the Blade's removal. Everyone was kind of in shock. The whole community was refunded $1 million for cash from the purchase and left to ponder on what to do with it. A lot of people simply used it to buy the new Molten that had been added on the same day it was removed, as the Blade's removal happened to fall on part 2 of the volcanic eruption update, which left us with the revamped town and the new limited Molten. But most people used the Blade refund to buy it, which was a worthy investment because none of us really knew if there would be a replacement or not. Then later on, we got the news. On November 3rd, a post from Bionic on Twitter revealed the new replacement to the Blade, the drone. The reactions were mostly positive, but upon its addition on November 8th, it's clear that this wasn't an exact replica of the Blade. Soon after, Hayes, a well-known programmer in the community, sent a post to the sub titled "Our Worst Fears Are Confirmed," and it showed the following clip.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell.
Using an importer, the Blade was re-added, and I presume with an exact replica of the original stats, and it easily outclassed the drone in speed. It was not even close. Back then we didn't have speedometers, but this was more than enough to prove the sheer difference in performance levels between these two vehicles. But was the drone really that bad? Not really. See, it was still a pretty solid vehicle. The issue was that the Blade just happened to outclass it in almost every statistic. The turning was worse, speed was worse, and the overall design was just much more divisive than the original, which was universally praised. The thing is, the drone just didn't have any selling points apart from being a worse Blade. But to a normal player that joined in the coming years of Jailbreak, they would be unaware of the Blade and perhaps think more positively about the drone. But for any longtime players, the drone would always be looked at with a much more negative view. The drone's time in the game was a whole 5 years, so I thought it would be a good idea to gather some opinions. Did people like the drone? What did the general community think about the drone?
Twenty minutes later.
Looks like a shovel. Okay, so this is getting a little bit out of hand. So, at this point, it's very clear that the community feels very strongly against the drone. But as for my opinion about its time in the game, my take is purely that aerial vehicles have so much potential as shown with the Blade. The drone might not be the worst vehicle in the game, and not even the worst $1 million vehicle, but it certainly fails to live up to the Blade and what an aerial can be. The spot of being the only obtainable hovering vehicle is important. The fact that the drone, a vehicle that doesn't really utilize its potential as such in either design or performance, takes up the only space, means that it's gonna get criticized a lot harsher. It's funny because the Blade was literally in the game for not even 2 months, whilst the drone has been here for a full 5 years, and yet it doesn't even have half the good reputation that the Blade got. But to be perfectly clear, alright, not everyone hated the drone. It's fair to say that some people even quite liked it, as according to Asimo, the drone is the most purchased $1 million vehicle in the game, which is really shocking because my mind would immediately jump to the Vault Bike or even the Black Hawk. If anything, it confirms how popular aerial hover vehicles really are. But regardless of the drone's mixed reception, this would all change on December 3rd, 2025, where we got an announcement from Bionic on Twitter. Following a cinematic trailer released 5 days prior, the Bionic was added on December 8th as the newest $1 million hover vehicle, officially retiring the drone and making it the first $1 million vehicle to be retired. Not forcefully removed like the Blade, full on retired. retired. That's how you know you have no legacy. You're just immediately sent to retirement with less than a week's notice. But anyways, back on the Bionic. This was the first community-created vehicle in this trio of hovering vehicles, and easily by design my favorite one. First of all, it looks much more similar to the Blade, and no surprise, nails down the futuristic hovering car aesthetic. It makes the drone stick out like a sore thumb because the design of it just seems so wacky and disproportionate compared to the Bionic, which really at the end of the day, and especially on the post, sold it as an upgraded Blade. It actually makes sense. It has a legitimate power source to explain the hovering, and as Unsurvived clearly explained, the drone defies the laws of physics. Now performance-wise, I consider that to be the cherry on top, as it completely outclasses the drone. So now that we know the drone is far and away the worst vehicle of the trio, I have one more test that maybe could save it now that it is, you know, a retired vehicle.
Oh my god.
Welcome back! So as you guys can see, I'm currently in the trading hub, and I have brought along with me this thing. So if I don't flip this for a better car in 30 minutes, then I am gonna go ahead and give away something. I don't know what it is, but you know, you have to stay to the end to find out. Go ahead and get the meta, trading drone. I'm a famous YT, so you want to say that even if you're not. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. So, hold on. Is this a good flip? L. Okay. All right. So it's worth about 1.25 right now. All right, we're gonna trip this guy. Yo. Oh. Well, yo. What? Let's go ahead and hit him with that. Just how much is drone? 100 million. No, I'm nice. 1.25. I'm kidding. Oh, never mind. Okay. So. Oh shoot. Okay, aperture. Alright, okay. What? Chat, am I cheating? Nah, what? Yo. Oh, what? I need like something limited. All I need is like a season car. Hold on, let me hit him with the really audacious one. Drone for Orion. Alright, how about that? Please, bro. I think this guy's just thinking right now. Alright, I literally have 1 minute to go. Yep, we could be a bit cooked. Alright, I think as per the challenge, I just have to give away something. You know what? I'm feeling nice today. What is crew? Don't act like you don't know what that is, right? These traders are trying to act oblivious. So here we go, guys. This is what you get when you make a random challenge and then just lose it on the spot. Look at me. I'm too generous. I'm probably the most generous Jailbreak YouTuber. There we go, guys. That's it. That's the video. So if you want my advice, don't trade for this. It absolutely has no rarity at all, and it is literally the first limited vehicle that cannot be spawned from your inventory. You have to use an aerial spawner. 0 out of 10, useless. So yeah, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.